Hello, my name is Nate.
I'm Megan.
And we've decided that we want to jump on the YouTube bandwagon because it's such an original ship and nobody's doing it. So we figured, why not talk about video games online? That's so original. So that's what we're doing. So, no, but in all seriousness, we have a lot of video games in our collection and we love video games and we like talking about them. And we have a lot of friends who play video games. So we figured, why not talk about different stuff related to video games.
Show you our stuff and then you can get jealous.
Yeah.
Because our stuff is...
We figured we'd start with showing of maybe the past 2 months worth of pickups we've gotten from various places. Some of them were bought, some of them were traded, some of them were gifts, some of them were finds, cool stuff like that. So.
And it's not just games, we have some other cool stuff like action figures.
Gaming related stuff.
Tchotchkes, but all within the realm of video games. So.
Yep, so sit back, hope you enjoy. We're going to call this show Sprite Lovers and the whole channel actually, so that's our name for now. Maybe it'll change, but at least to get things started, welcome to Sprite Lovers, and we'll get started right now. So the first thing I wanted to start with is something that was given to me. I actually came home one day and I think I was taking a shower, and then I got a text message while I was in the shower that said, check your doorknob when you get out of the shower.
And the beginning of a really bad horror movie.
Yeah, horror or porno, I don't know. But so I went and checked the doorknob, and there was a teal colored bag, which I don't think I have any empty ones in here. I think they're all downstairs. But there was a teal empty bag, and what the teal bag represents is Voltage Video Games, which is a local video store in Syracuse.
They're awesome.
It has
check them out.
Great stuff, great selection. We'll probably do a video talking about the local game stores and everything in the area. But I'm good friends with the owner and one of the workers there is the assistant manager. And they knew that not only am I a collector and Megan a collector, but they knew that in particular, I have many Bethesda Softworks games in my collection, like, what do we have? We have Oblivion, Skyrim, the Fallouts, you know, the big RPGs from Bethesda. So it had this little note in the bag. It wasn't an empty bag. I think I said it was an empty bag earlier. There was a bag with something in it. And in the bag said, a complimentary Bethesda game from your pals at Voltage. So I got a free game from them. And not just any game, a Bethesda game. So I was pretty excited, and that game was Breeders' Cup World Tournament Championships, the premier horse racing simulator on PlayStation 2. So thanks guys, this is now in our collection, and we're pretty happy to have it, pretty stoked. It's haven't played it yet, but watching YouTube videos, it's looking pretty good, so I'm looking forward to checking it out. But in any case, another game for the collection. Thank you.
My turn. This is something really awesome that Nate got me. I had a cold or whatever, and this was his little like pick-me-up gift. And nothing makes a girl feel better when she is sick or having a lousy day than a sweet Gordon Freeman action figure, complete with crowbar. And it's really awesome.
Oh, there's more cool complete stuff too.
Yeah,
beyond the crowbar.
You know, very, very cool little, well-detailed figure. I think it was actually from Toys R Us. They actually really, really awesome video game-related action figures. So
yes,
definitely give them a check out. They have a lot of really cool stuff. I mean, I've seen Half-Life. I know recently we saw BioShock Infinite. I mean,
we got a little. Maxwell from Scribble Knots a couple months back
lots
too.
Of Mario
so
figures, lots of I don't know. I've seen. I'm drawing a blank right now, but lots of cool stuff. So anyway, here he is. He's really cool. I don't know if you can see him, but his little crowbar.
Really detailed.
And then he comes with his little
gravity
gun. Gotta have that. Very, very cool. And of course, head crab.
Awesome. This is really detailed. If you look at the inside, it's got
it's got blood.
All the hooks and claws and fangs and everything. It's really cool.
Comes with a couple little like interchangeable hands, which I didn't put on. They're actually still in the packaging, and then this tiny little.
Oh yeah, it's the little it's like not a grenade, but
I don't know what to call it.
the ant calling thing, ant lion calling thing from Half-Life 2. If you played Half-Life 2, you know what it is.
Yeah.
But it was really cool that it came with that too.
I definitely love this head crab guy. He's really, really cool. So there's Gordon.
So one day I was at work and it was a busy day, and I looked on my GameStop reward or whatever it's called, Power Up Rewards account on my lunch break, and I was like, oh, I have some coupons that I could use. Yeah, why not? So I printed them out at work, and on my lunch I got 2 Wii games that I've been looking forward to, and one of them it came free. I asked the guy there, I'm like, what if the coupon for a $5 off a game is more than the actual cost of the game? He's like, you can just get it for free. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So the first one, which I never played before, but always looked cool to me, was Excitebots Trick Racing. I couldn't remember the subtitle, but I love arcade style racers. I've always liked them more than Sims, even though there's some good racing sims I've played. But this is really fun. I've only played a couple races, and it's just got a ton of stuff to unlock and everything. So it's got multiplayer. It looks really fun. So got that for free. Really happy with it. That was really good, and that was used, but really pretty decent quality. Some little nicks in the case, but nothing major. And it's got the book and everything. So was really happy with that. And then I'm a huge fan of rail shooters, going back from like Star Fox, and I love, my favorite rail shooter series is the Panzer Dragoon series. And so once I got my Wii, one of the first things I downloaded with my first Nintendo download points was Sin and Punishment for Nintendo 64, because it never came out in America. And I really liked that. I haven't finished it yet, but I've played it several times. Really like it. I think it's really quality. And the Wii sequel, Star Successor, I believe, is really awesome. I played the first few levels already, and I can tell it's really high quality. It's just one of those good Wii exclusives, and it was really cheap. It's $10 new, so I used the coupon and only paid a couple bucks for it. So I got 2 games in one day for under $10. It was such a good day for a little Wii pickup, so I got 2 exclusives now for the system that I'm looking forward to playing.
This particular game I haven't played. Him and his friend Steve played this a little while ago, and I know you guys unfortunately had a problem with.
Well, the game save
just
didn't work, so when we tried to continue our game, we had to start all over again.
But
we started on an emulator again, but still, we want to have the
I'm definitely very anxious to play this. I saw a little bit of the game. It's very cool. It's called Deja Vu. The cartridge itself is in very pristine condition, but it was only $5. Didn't have a box or a little booklet with it, but for $5, it was, it's clean.
It's like a point-and-click adventure detective story, and it's got really humorous dialogue in parts of the way it describes things like dead bodies or looking at yourself in the mirror and stuff. So we had such fun with this. Steve, we're going to play this again soon, I promise. But now I own the cartridge, so you don't have to bring yours over. I don't think I have yours here. I think this is the only one in my house. I think you can give it back the old one. But so we're going to play this again. But yeah, anybody who hasn't played this, if you like point-and-click adventures, very good. We were having a great time until our file didn't work. But hopefully this cartridge has proper save techniques in it, and we'll be able to play. I found 2 DS games complete in box that I've been looking for a long time, and I got them both for under $20 for both of them. The first one is Retro Game Challenge, and
which supposedly is based off a
TV show. It's based off a TV show. One thing I like is it's made by Xseed, which they make a lot of really good games. So not all their games are good, but when I see Xseed, I'm like, it's going to be quirky, unique, special, one of those things. So I heard about this way back when I used to listen to the 1UP show and those podcasts back before EGM and 1UP went kaput. And basically, if you look at it, it looks like it's going to be a game about, it's a compilation of old retro games. But what's cool about it, and this is kind of what the show that it's based off of is you're actually playing games that are in the style of old 80s games, and you play as little kids playing these games. And so the games themselves, they have a bunch of full different genre games, a shooter, an RPG, a platformer, all these cool old style games that feel like something that would have been on the NES or something. But what's cool is in the game, you're in like the kid's room, and you can like go to the shelf and get like video game magazines to get codes that will work in these games in this game. So it's very meta and really cool. I played a little bit at the beginning. I've always wanted to play it because it sounded so unique, and I definitely wasn't disappointed. It had the instruction manual and everything, so wicked cool game. Very happy to have found that. And the other one?
The other one was Tetris DS. Now, we have been wanting this game for a while. It's really cool. It's pretty much Tetris. There's different modes, but the cool little twist on it is that it has it features some of our favorite beloved Nintendo characters. It has like Metroid, Zelda, Mario. There's a couple others. Like
it's almost like
the levels are
celebrates.
themed.
Yeah, it celebrates like old Nintendo franchises while you're playing Tetris. So the backgrounds and music will be from old Nintendo games. So it's really cool.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
But yeah, like I was saying, it's not a hard game to find, but to find it complete, like in the box with the booklet, even had all.
It even had a working Club Nintendo rewards point, never been redeemed, so I've actually was able to redeem that in my Club Nintendo
but yeah, all
point.
this health and safety precautions. So
yeah, it's fully complete.
Used.
And the store was really cool because they had all their DS games were loose in a glass case, but if they had a box, they'd write box on the sticker. So we were able to go, oh, okay, this one's in a box. And so I asked if I could see the box, and I saw it was like pristine condition. So.
It also features the music from these games.
Oh yeah,
it's
all
not
the
just the level design and the backgrounds and
really
stuff.
Cool.
Like
they're like remixed versions.
It's really cool.
And it has single card download DS download play, so you can play multiplayer with other DSs with just this one card. So I love DS games that do that. So okay, so I recently was watching a video. It was Pete Dorr. He has Pete's Game Room on YouTube, and I really like his channel. And he had a video about how he searches for stuff on eBay. And I haven't gotten anything off eBay for a long time. So I was like kind of addicted, and now I have been addicted to like watching eBay, even if I'm not buying tons of stuff on it. I've been trying to hold back, but I still see like, wow, there's a lot of good deals. So I'm like, I'm going to keep an eye on eBay from now on again and like try to find little deals here and there. So the first thing I look for is I have had, and I had this game at one point, I had for Sega Genesis Phantasy Star 4 complete in the box, which is my personal favorite Phantasy Star because the older ones, I know they're probably more revered, like 2 especially, but I feel like they're a little more dated. They don't hold up as well as like a Final Fantasy from the time or a Dragon Quest even. But Phantasy Star 4 I think was like, wow. Plus it was the last single player Phantasy Star. So I had this game, right? Don't know what happened to the cartridge. So I've been through 2 moves, never found it when we packed up stuff. So I have a near complete Phantasy Star. Ugh, it's been pain. And I know games, a game goes for about $50 sometimes online. Even just the cartridge is like 25 to 50. So I was like, but I found on eBay, there was a listing that I watched, and I was working an event in Watkins Glen, New York at the racetrack. Happened to look down on my phone because I got a notification, and I saw it was only like, it was just over $10, and I was like, I'll put a bid on it. And I put a bid on the last 30 seconds, and I won it. So now I finally have, once again, complete Phantasy Star 4. Works great. I tried it, and so it's just good to have this game. If I tried to find this game as it is right now online, it'd be a lot more. So that was one. And then I had another eBay purchase, was a DS game I've been looking for a long time. Found it complete in box, got it really cheap, and that is Ghost Trick Phantom Detective. And I played the first puzzle area in this because it's kind of like a puzzle adventure game. And it's got great dialogue. Animation is amazing. It uses this cool rotoscoped animation for the characters. It reminds me of Flashback, if anybody ever played the original Flashback Quest for Identity. So finally got this game, was really happy with it. It's complete. It's got all the paperwork and everything with it. It looks mint. It said it was used and played and everything, but it must have been really nicely on a shelf because there's not a scuff on the thing. Great game. Check it out.
Last week. Now, GameStop's kind of like hit or miss. I love GameStop. I always have. But some of their prices are kind of, yeah. But every once in a while, like, we find a little gem or maybe something that's super dirt cheap. In this case, we found Samba de Amigo, which I've never played this game before. I'm not that familiar with the character other than, he appeared in, I don't know, was it Sonic?
Well, it was in the Sonic and All-Stars Racing.
Yeah.
Right? That's where you've seen it before.
So I'm not super familiar with this character. I'm definitely excited to play this, but this was only 89 cents, so you can't go wrong.
Cents.
Yeah, 89 cents. The case is
not too bad.
Is fairly decent shape.
Got the booklet.
It has the booklet. Disc looks good. I mean, they're 89 cents.
Pretty happy with that one.
Yeah.
Oh, and then at the same GameStop that we were at, I've been really getting into shoot 'em up games, old school, especially on like Genesis. But it started because we were playing the Street Pass games on our 3DS, the new ones that they just released, and then one of them is Me Force, which is a shoot 'em up. So I kind of like, oh, I used to play these all the time, and I have a few, but I want to start getting some more. So I saw this one, which I think is a spiritual sequel to the Nano Stray games that were on DS, regular DS, I think, which were shoot 'em ups. This one's a little different. It's called Nano Assault for 3DS, and it was real cheap, and it's like a micro scale game where you're like you're like on top of cells, and you spin around the cells as you're playing the shoot 'em up. So it's kind of got an element if you played Super Stardust HD for PSN. It's got where you're circling around. That was planets in that one, but this is like over cells. And so it's got this cool like germ look to it. But you're a little ship, and it's pretty fun. I only played the first 2 levels, and I was like, this is pretty neat, but a little different than I thought it was going to be. But for the price, it's, you can't beat it with a stick, and I love my 3DS.
Oh,
Both
like
do.
$6.
$6, I think, for this. So yeah, really good deal. Great when you find a cheap find like this. So I'm sure I'll enjoy it, and I can't wait to give it a little more of a shot. So I recently hung out with my friend Tom and James at my friend Tom and Melissa's apartment, because we haven't hung out with them for a while, and they play games and stuff too, and they just got, Tom and Melissa just got 3DSs, so we were happy to have them join into the 3DS fray, because we love it. But while we were there, we were looking at I was looking at his game collection. He hadn't seen our game collection, neither had James, so had them come over and check it out, and we actually did a trade, which I usually don't trade games, so it was like kind of weird at first, but I feel I got the better end of the deal. He is happy with what he got, but I got a game I've been really looking for, and a game in a series that I've always wanted to have in my collection. So we were pretty stoked with what we got. But I first will start with a game that James generously gave me. But first, let me do a little backing up. He has a channel on here too, Slightly Livid Gaming. So definitely check it out. He's kind of what got us inspired into finally recording some of our stuff about games. But I noticed in one of his videos that he mentioned he had a Saturn that didn't work, and I had a second one. So I gave him a Saturn, and eventually gave him a top-loader Nintendo when he was here too. But when I first got to Tom's, he gave me Kabuki Quantum Fighter for NES, which I played the last time I was over at Tom's and really enjoyed and had a good time. Which is a pretty fun platformer, really tight controls and good level design. So when he was like, yeah, you can have it, I'm like, hell yeah. So that was one. And then he was getting rid of some other games too, and because of the Saturn NES trade-off, he gave me I collect, like I mentioned earlier, I have an attachment to Sega from starting with Sega, and so I collect box Genesis games. I'm trying to go through, I know there's like 900 games, but as many as I can get over my life, I'll try to get. So he gave me Alex Kidd in the Enchanted Castle, which is a classic game, not too great of a game, and a good series, but kind of a bad game. But it's classic because I played it a lot growing up, played it on Sega Channel. It doesn't have the instruction booklet, but it's got the case in really good condition, so I was happy to get that. But then, my good friend Tom looked through my games, and he, what did he pick? He picked, Silent Hill 2 for Xbox, which I have the PS2 one.
I think Link to the Past.
Yes, Link to the Past, which we had 2 copies of, so it was a double. So for me, I really didn't feel like, oh, we're getting rid of some of our best games.
Yeah,
and here's what I got. First, I'll start with the other one he gave, just to kind of make we looked at the price charts of the games, and we tried to make it a fair, value to value trade. And I got East 3, Wanderers from East, RPG. I played a few East games on Sega, back on Sega Channel, and my sister had one with her boyfriend at the time. Played a couple of them. They're cool RPGs, but back then I was like terrible at them, so now it'd be cool to try it again now. Got that for Super Nintendo, really happy. But this was the game that really caught my eye that he had over there, and he was like, well, if you have something to trade, I wouldn't mind trading. And that is Ogre Battle 64, Person of Lordly Caliber, which is just so awesome. And I've been wanting to get this game for a while. The music, the gameplay, everything is, to me, it feels like something that I would have loved back on the PS1 back in those days, because they do have an Ogre Battle for PS1.
It's definitely very cool. I watched him from the beginning of it. I was getting a kick out of the beginning, I guess, when you choose like your characters, different things that he's fighting for, and what he wants to rid the land of, and you were like choosing all the bad things.
Yeah, like, just because I was showing her the game, I said, I will rid this land of peace or purity. Yeah. So, and I chose lust as another thing, and it gave me like different. I guess that's how you choose your starting stats in the game, but really good. The music and story and just the gameplay, there's nothing else like this on N64, because unfortunately the N64 didn't have too many RPG-like experiences, so to have a strategy RPG from a great strategy RPG series, I was really happy with. So thanks, Tom and James. It was a pleasure doing business with you, and we look forward to possibly more trades in the future.
Got this really cute little Sonic tin. It's a little old, it's got some cat hairs on it, but it's classic Sonic when he was a lot cuter, in my opinion. There's actually still some mints in here, but
Chaos
it's
Emeralds.
filled with cherry and sour apple Chaos Emeralds, which are pretty tasty.
So I noticed on Craigslist about a month or two back that somebody was posting, hey, we'll buy your old games and everything. And it was called Clutter Ducks Emporium. So I'm like, oh, is this a new place opening up or something? And but it seemed, I didn't know if it was like a pawn shop type place, but it was in Brewerton, New York. So I was like, I kept it in the back of my mind. And then I noticed that my friend Mike, who owns Voltage Video Games in downtown Syracuse, he was like, he reviewed it on Facebook, and I was like, oh, so he's been there, and he had a pretty good review to say for it. And then my friend Alex, who also works at Voltage, he decided to go there when he was going to check out some other game stores too. He started there, and I told him to take a look for a few things for me, and he said they had a pretty good selection. So we decided the next day to go. So we went there, and Megan walked in the door, and she saw something she'd been looking for. Or remembered right away.
Yeah,
so I'll let you start.
I love going into stores because I definitely played some games when I was younger. Not as many as this guy. I'm more of a recent. I've recently gotten really into gaming. But there are a few classics from my childhood that I forgot about, and I love when I happen upon these things. So let me start with this for. For Game Boy, it's The Lost World Jurassic Park. I don't know if it's considered a good game or a bad game. All I know is I loved it as a kid. The music is pretty good, although it can be a little repetitive sometimes.
But it was catchy. When she was playing it when she brought it home, and I was like, that's kind of cool.
But yeah, original like cardboard.
Very good quality, which you don't see much in the old Nintendo boxes.
Yeah, the box is like pristine, which is
really nice.
Very rare and very cool. Booklet, all this stuff. There's actually, I think there's an old Nintendo Power ad in here.
I remember that one from
the second game that I got the first one of these games a few months back. Again, I played it when I was a kid. I can't even tell you if it's good or not. I can't remember the story, but the music I always remember. Anyway, I'm mumbling on, but the game I got was Zoda's Revenge, which is Star Tropics 2. I got the first Star Tropics a few months ago, and I'm actually playing through that. Yeah, earlier than that, and I'm playing through that right now. But yeah, this is again just a classic from my childhood. I know
Star Tropics is like it's a series that it's not like a major Nintendo franchise, but so many people played it on NES. I know it's revered. I've never played it other than watching her start it, and it seems awesome. It seems really cool to me.
Yeah.
But I think it is. I think it is a pretty well-revered series. I don't know if critically it is, but maybe we'll see a Star Tropics. I know a lot of times I see it in like threads online, like, oh, make a new Star Tropics for Wii U or 3DS or something. So I think it'd be cool to see it come back. But it hasn't yet, so we'll see. But we got the 2 NES originals, so. Very good game. I was watching her play. It looked awesome.
I got a couple other things from Clutter Ducks. The only reason I got this, I love Zelda. My 3DS is actually the Zelda 3DS with like the Triforce and some cool like decorations around it and stuff. So I thought, what better than to get a Zelda case for it, and pretty much it doesn't hold the 3DS games, but it has.
Yeah, because they have the little match on them.
Yeah, it holds the regular DS games, but still, it's very cool, very slick looking.
Plus, it's Zelda.
It's Zelda.
Anything Zelda.
But yeah, very compact. You can
quality.
fit like an extra stylus in there. You can fit 6 games. So if I'm traveling, instead of bringing a whole pouch full of them, I can just put 6 games in there. But it's.
That's really cool.
It's decent price.
Got the nice Toon Link from Phantom Hourglass on it.
Yes,
so.
and I don't see these that often, so
no, it was pretty nice.
Very, very cool. The other thing I got, I love the old Pokemon. So when I saw these, I was like, oh my god. But yeah, pretty much they're, I don't know how close I can get, but pretty much just little figures of Pokemon, little Jigglypuff, little Little wheezing.
Weasling.
Weaseling.
Ron Weasling.
Yeah, but.
Yeah, they're good.
But they were, you know, I think they were $1 a pop. Maybe like you get 6 for $5 or something. I don't know. They were pretty cheap, but they're very cool and very good condition.
Yep. And a great deal.
Yeah. But I mean, I play the newer Pokemon games. I love them, but to be honest with you, I can't remember even a quarter of the ones nowadays. Like these,
the new ones.
Yeah, the new ones. Their new ones aren't as cool to me. I mean, they're cool, but not. I mean,
there was so much originality in a
cool
lot of these old characters. So classic.
You know, to have all these cool little figures and stuff, it's a nice addition.
Well, we were at Clutter Ducks. I also happened to notice, because one of the things I asked my friend to look for was Genesis games. And he said, oh yeah, they have some box ones here throughout the store. So I went in and he showed me right where they were. And I couldn't believe it because, like I mentioned earlier in this video, I collect complete Genesis games if I can. And I've been into shooters lately. So the first thing I saw, which was only $2.95, wicked cheap, is one of my most classic favorite shooters. I had the game already, the cartridge, but it was beat to hell. But it still works. I played it about a week before I saw this. And I got Thunder Force 2, which is a great shoot 'em up series if you've heard of it. Classic, great music. And this one's interesting because it has some top-down levels that they took out from the other sequels. But great game, complete in the box.
Even with the little
it's got the tab that normally breaks off too. But the book's in great condition. The cartridge is in way better condition than my other one. So could not believe that I saw that. And it was like the perfect timing. And I was like, oh my gosh. And there was an eBay listing for this game for about starting at $2 that same day that I was looking at. So I was like, oh, well, don't worry about the eBay listing. I got it. So that's great. Classic game. It's got a hilarious voiceover in the beginning that nobody can understand, but it's pretty classic. And then I saw another classic Genesis shooter there, Whip Rush, which again, complete in box. And everything's in great condition, and so it was just like, I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my gosh, there's 2 games I've been looking for, or would be looking for always when I'm looking at Genesis games, and they're right there, first time going to this Clutter Duck store. And lastly, I got 3 more Genesis games, really cheap, in the box with instructions, so I figured I'd show them off. The first one I got for 99 cents is Jeopardy!
Look at that mustache.
With his old stash, yeah. I played this back on Sega Channel back in the day. It's a Jeopardy game, you can't really screw it up. It's tough because you gotta spell the stuff out, and if you make one spelling error, it probably will give you an incorrect answer. But it's better than the modern ones where you pick multiple choice, so so that was cool. Then when I was there for like $1 more, I saw, I played all of these games, well I played 2 of the 3 of these games separately. But I've never seen this particular triple pack, and I usually don't care about compilations, but because I'm trying to get as many Genesis games as I can in the box, I was like, I might as well get this now because it's only $1.99, and I'll have it for the collection. It's complete. It doesn't have the tab, but it's called Triple Score, 3 games in 1, and Super Hang-On, classic Yu Suzuki racing game by Sega, is the first one on here, which I played before a million times, which it's not one of my favorite games or anything, but I can see why it's a classic, and the music's great in it. And then it's got World Championship Soccer, which I don't play too many sports games, so I haven't played it, don't know if it's good or not, but it's included. And then Columns, the first one for Sega, which is a really fun platforming puzzle game that I played a ton when I was a kid, and my sister used to play a lot, and I know me and her both got to the like level 99 or the highest, so things were coming down the fastest, but the game doesn't end, so we were just like, yeah, kind of had to be like, well, I give up, but we both made it that far. We got so good at it. So cool little collection there. Another one I got just because it was so cheap, and I love the first game. I liked this one, but didn't play it as much. I don't have the first game on Genesis, but I have the sequel on Sega CD because it has really good music. But to be fair, the Genesis version does too, so I gotta get that someday. But I got the second Echo the Dolphin game, Echo the Tides of Time. Really cool. The graphics, I can tell, are a little better than the first one. They really added a little more to the backgrounds and stuff. But really good music again, some cool special stages between levels. And the world, if you've never played these games, they're not everybody's going to like them because they're very unique. He plays a dolphin, but it's very open levels, and really sell that eerie underwater feel with the music, the atmosphere. As you go down the deeper into the water, as you cross certain thresholds, it gets darker. So like it really helps it feel more claustrophobic and scary. So a really good series. Now that I have all the mainline Echoes, I know there was like Echo Junior and stuff, but I have the Dreamcast one already and stuff. So it's pretty cool to have at least one version of the first 3 Echo games. But a very good game, and that was another good addition to the collection. So.